If you've been researching real estate or looking to get into this industry, you've probably heard one of the following things. It's too risky, you need a boatload of money to start, or it's completely passive and you need way too much money to go out and buy houses to pay you passive income. And in this video, I'm gonna break down which of these are actually legitimate concerns and which one of these are complete excuses and are just holding people back from getting into the business. My name is Nick. I've made well over 7 figures in the game of real estate, and this channel helps complete beginners or intermediate people grow and scale their business. So if you're looking to make money in real estate, stay tuned. This video is gonna help you out a lot. The first myth I get hit with all the time is that you need a ton of money to get started in this business. That's not true whatsoever. So the reason people think that is because people think that you need to go out and buy buildings or buy houses and then rent them out and you're gonna get all this money coming in, but you need a ton of money to do that. Or people think that you need to go get your real estate license, which is going to entail you paying for a course, you sitting in the course for 3 months, you paying for a test. So it could take you up to 6 months just to get your real estate license before you can even start going out, trying to get clients and making money in the industry. So those are like the 2 biggest reasons that people think you need a ton of money to start in this business to actually make money. That being said, if you do want a very low barrier of entry to get into the business and you don't have any cash in your name, wholesaling real estate is probably the way you're going to want to go, and you don't need any money to start whatsoever. Myth number 2 is the most, I guess you could say, commonly talked about myth that I hear, and that's that real estate is completely passive. People think that real estate is passive because they go out and they see an influencer online and they say, oh, I own 64 properties in Ohio and I rent them out Section 8 and they pay me a passive $1,000 a month, so I make $64,000 a month. That's not true. So the reason you hear that and the reason that real estate is actually active is because for them to acquire those units, I promise you they didn't find all of them on the MLS. They didn't find all of them with a realtor. They actually have an off-market lead gen system, which then feeds them leads that they go out of the way to either close or flip or wholesale, whatever they decide to do, whatever their exit is. So what a lot of beginners underestimate is they think that they're going to go buy all these houses and then they're going to put tenants in there and then they're going to start making all this money. What people don't understand is unless you hire a really good property management company or you're really good at finding tenants and self-managing yourself, it's a lot more hands-on than people think. So that's why real estate really isn't passive unless it's systemized. And that's usually where the whole argument of real estate is too risky comes into play, which brings us on to myth number 3, which is real estate is too risky, and that's why most people don't want to get into it. So the first thing I'd say is, what is risk? What does risk look like for you, right? Is risk starting a business? Is risk missing a day at work because you might get fired? Is risk buying a property that you think is magically going to burn down the next day, or your tenants are going to destroy it and you don't want to buy real estate because of that? So once you understand what risk means for you and what your risk tolerance is that's when you'll really start to feel more comfortable analyzing deals and seeing that real estate is technically the least risky business you could possibly be in if you do it correctly. Real estate is, in my opinion, one of the only business models where you can make controlled risk decisions, right? Real estate is a tangible asset. So when you buy it, you know it's not going anywhere. You get insurance for the properties, that way that if they burn down, you're covered. Your tenants realistically aren't going to burn down your property. They're not going to try and terrorize your property as long as you screen them correctly. There's so many factors that you can control inside of this business. Risk comes from ignorance, not the asset class, right? So if you're not willing to do your due diligence and you're not willing to actually take the time to look into the thing that you're buying, usually you're pretty ignorant. It's not the asset class, it's you who's the problem, right? So if you're new to this and you want to get into it, do your due diligence on which piece of real estate you want to get into, whether it's wholesaling, whether it's flipping, whether it's long-term rentals, lending, whatever you want to do your research into it, because I guarantee you it's going to make your life a lot easier, and it's going to actually make real estate fun, which is a business that people think is boring. But here's the myth that keeps most people out, and that's that real estate is only for rich people. So this myth is realistically the furthest one from the truth out of all of these, because if you're like me, you came from nothing and you didn't have a lot of money growing up and you always wanted to do more, but you weren't really sure which business model or which career you should really pursue. When I got into real estate, I was still delivering food on DoorDash, Uber Eats. I had no money to my name, right? So real estate is not only for rich people. You just need the right people around you to actually succeed in this business. So what does that mean? When I say people around you, I don't mean like you need people with money and leverage of all these things. You need to put yourself in the right rooms with the right people. If you're someone you're working at a Stop and Shop or Walmart and you're like, yo, I really want to improve my life, I really want to do more, there's one thing you can do that I promise is going to change your life drastically, and that's going to be to cut out all of your old friends and go meet people who actually want to change their lives, right? Real estate as a whole is the art of networking. It's the art of connections, meeting people, and having someone help you, right? So for example, if you want to buy a house, you need a lender. to help you buy the house. If you want to sell a house, you need a realtor. If you want to find the house off market, you need a wholesaler. Putting yourself in the right room with the right people is completely free. All you need to do is go on Facebook, find your local real estate investor networking events, and go to one of those events, right? It's so easy. You don't need to be rich to be in like the top level rooms. All you need is to go out of your way, get out of your comfort zone, and go in a room with people who actually want to change their lives. That will help you make partnerships with people. That will help you find lenders, realtors, wholesalers, contractors. That'll help you get leverage on people, because then eventually, if you know somebody and you have something that somebody doesn't, it's like a connection. If you make an introduction, now that person owes you a favor. Maybe that favor comes as giving you first dibs on a deal. Maybe that favor comes in the form of helping you out with a loan on your next property, right? Maybe they want to partner with you on a deal. There's so many things you can do inside of real estate, and the majority of those things come with being in touch with the right people to help you get so much further than you get on your own. This isn't an e-commerce business. Real estate is tangible. It's not online. It's real things. NFTs did not work, as we saw. Having the right people around you is not hard to do. You just have to get out of your own way and go do it. So those are all the myths I see on a very common basis, and it gets me frustrated because if only people knew the truth behind this, maybe more people would get into real estate. So if you found any value in this video that you just watched, I encourage you to drop a like, hit the subscribe button, drop a comment, let us know what you thought about the video. It helps out the channel a lot. And if you want to learn more about wholesaling, flipping, or buying properties, check out some of our other videos. We have a bunch of free stuff on the channel. Thank you for sticking with me. Thank you for watching the video. I will see you in the next video.